lovelies, welcome back to Reviews and Recaps. Let's talk about Kimmy. I feel like Kimmy is becoming very unlikable. I think she started to become unlikable last season when she was riding for her husband, when he was talking about wanting to have sex with her while she was going through cancer. But I feel like this season so far, it's been very dry. She hasn't given us much. And to hear that she is activated or was activated at the reunion, like, girl, take several seats. Like, it just doesn't feel natural. Let's say that, right? That's even a nice way of saying what I want to say. But I just feel like even if you don't want to talk about the DUI that your husband got, I feel like there are still ways to give us good TV. And this is the thing. I feel like Love and Marriage Huntsville cast have relied on Martell and Melody for a good show for so long. And I feel like without them, they're struggling to keep the show afloat with their own stories. It just feels like all of the stories are always pointing back to Mel and Martell in some way because these people do not understand the assignment. But let's talk about it. If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Everyone, please like, share, and don't forget to let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And also turn on the notifications so you know every single time that I post, please. Now let's get into it. Melody invited Kimmy to come over to her house for a workout session, which I thought was nice. I liked the touch of inviting her over, having a personal trainer. If you guys know, that's Melody's personal trainer. And the personal trainer also cooked for, I can't remember her name right now, I really can't remember, but she is a fit woman. She knows her stuff. There's some of the tips that she's given that I use personally. So yeah, I can't remember her name. If you guys remember, correct me. But I'm just going to move on and not mention her as much, okay? So Melody was basically asking Kimmy like how she felt about the girls trip. I'm like, girl, Melody just wanted to hear a little bit more about how the girls trip was. She was like, give me the compliments. I want to hear it. And I love that for her. But did you notice that Kimmy started to talk about how the girls trip was better than she anticipated, and that, there was so many opportunities to squash beef and all these stuff. She didn't use beef, but you guys know what I'm talking about. My thing is, she also referenced to talking to Maurice about it. Sorry, their names are so similar. To Maurice about it. My thing is, unless I'm bugging, but when I watched that previous episode, she wasn't really bigging up the trip. If anything, she was talking down on the trip and how she's exhausted and how it was a lot. But then you're in Melody's face and you're saying something completely different. This is what's funny. From day one, I've always thought Kimmy was two-faced, but I noticed she was almost like a fan favorite. People loved her. But I feel like now things are shifting because people are starting to notice her two-faced ways. And I don't blame them. I don't even think she's trying to hide it anymore. They do talk a little bit about Destiny. Melody mentioned about how she said she was sorry with tears in her eyes. And all of a sudden went on to be throwing jabs about her being a bad friend and all of that. And if I was Melody too, I'll be upset about that. You can't be out here in my face telling me you're sorry, you love me, and then in the next breath, you're talking about me being a bad friend. What did you love so much about me if I was a bad friend? Let's be honest. Say you love someone is deep. It's deeper than saying you miss them. So if you're saying you love them, that means you really believe that this is a good person. Ain't no way I'll be out here telling someone, an old friend of mine, that I love them when I am not, my heart is not open to them. I think they're a bad friend. That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, Melody talks to Kimmy about Maurice's DUI charges. Now, Melody brought it up. Kimmy tried to dance around the subject. And this is my thing. You're on a reality TV show. I do not think that you choosing not to talk about stuff is the best way to go about it. Now, I'm not saying open up your mouth and say every single thing about his DUI, what time he was arrested. Nobody is saying that. But at least you can say, I was very shocked. I was very upset to hear the call. Like, honestly, as a wife, that's the last thing you want to hear. That would have been a moment of you guys being able to bond. That could have been a moment of us being able to see, because nobody wants you to be responsible for something your husband did. Let's be honest. A lot of people can relate to being associated with family members that do something wrong, and everyone now looks at you like you are also a criminal. Right? So of course you don't want that. So everyone can have empathy for you about the situation. But I feel like the way she handled it, it's difficult for people to sort of understand her side, because she didn't even open up about her side. She basically just said she's fine and she's going to wait for the system to work it out. That is all she said about the situation. And I just feel like that is a disservice. She could have done a little bit more. I feel like this is where I feel like people like Kimmy don't really understand the assignment. Where if you're being asked something about it, there are ways to not give too many information. Focus on your feelings as opposed to the facts of the situation. I was upset to hear it. I was disappointed. I was shocked. That is enough. If you even said all of those things, Melody would have probably hugged you and just said, don't worry, it'll be okay. I understand. I was married to a man who did this. And you guys could have had a good kiki moment that a lot of women would have been able to resonate with. But instead, you dropped the ball there, in my opinion. Now, let me know what you guys think about that. Do you guys agree with me or do you disagree? Let me know in the comment section below. I feel like at that point, Melody was like tired of it. Like, girl, we're here to work. Like, Melody asked her. I'm just trying to figure out, was it in the middle of the day or what? Kimmy basically says she ain't got no comment and whatever is public knowledge is public knowledge. And Melody was like, okay, so that means it's a yes. And then Kimmy was like, don't put words in my mouth and you shouldn't believe everything you see on paper. And my thing is, okay, so 1 minute, whatever is public knowledge is public knowledge. The public knowledge is that he was arrested at a time that was during the day, allegedly, okay? So if that is wrong, you could literally have said, no, he wasn't truly arrested at that time. You could have cleared it up there and then. Instead, you didn't. I remember at the time Funky Dineva came to come and clear it up, but people still did not believe it. People felt like Funky was just doing what Maurice and Kimmy probably wanted and trying to clean things up for them, for the storyline or own or whatever, allegedly. But I just think that it is as simple as, no, it wasn't out during the afternoon. It was during the, like, you could have clarified that and that would not have added anything to whether or not he's convicted. Like you said, these are just general standard things. But the fact that you couldn't comment on it makes me think that it's true. I'll be honest. And with Melody, when she says, so that means it's a yes, right? Because if it's a no, you can easily say it's a no. You shying away from refusing to answer shows me that it was probably the truth. And it's interesting because Melody says what I'm thinking in the confessionals. And she was like, Kimmy is basically trying to shy away from the topic. She doesn't want to talk about it. And that she's not surprised because the castmates have a lot of mouth when it comes to other people's business, which is true. They've talked about Melody and Martell left, right, center for as long as they have. But they don't want to speak about their business. And this is what I mean when I feel like the show has let them focus on Melody and Martell for far too long. It's time for them to rely on their stories to open up and talk. There's no reason to have Maurice's DUI on the show if it is not going to be addressed. And this is what shocks me the most. It's like, it's his DUI charges. If it's not going to be addressed, why is it even a storyline? Because it feels like the cast are tiptoeing around his charges, except Melody. Melody seems to be the only one who is taking these charges seriously. Driving under the influence can hurt someone seriously. It can delete somebody. You guys know what I mean by that. And the sad part is it may not even be the driver that is deleted, and it's innocent victims. So I don't feel like I don't like the way it is being trivialized personally, and the way everyone is sort of avoiding it. And if at the reunion people decide to dance around it, I would be even more irritated, because it's like you need to hold their feet to the fire. They signed up for a reality TV show. You have to be willing to share your life. No one is telling you to share everything and not be personal if you want to be personal about some things. But when certain things are in the public, you have to be able to say some things. You cannot just be quiet about it. The whole revenge corn situation. Melody said it with her mouth. She was like, this is what he tried to do. That was the first episode of the last season, if I'm not mistaken. And it's like the rest of the cast just choose not to speak up and instead continue to use Melody and Martell for their storyline. And it's very, very disappointing. Enough is enough, in my opinion. Now, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, share, hit that subscribe button, and tap that bell button so that you guys will get notifications every single time that I post. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye.